Greetings, I'm Donnie Marco, and today I'm going to be reviewing Rainbow Six Extraction. A game about killing aliens, not because they're different than us, but because they used to be us. I can elaborate. You know that piss and shit colored thing that comes in vomit colors? Well, radioactive vomit. You know, Sprawl. That is stated in the lore to have human DNA in it, which therefore means the red cancer testicles that are littered throughout the game as well could be someone's mother. To elaborate further, an ancient alien parasite decided to blow its load all over a bunch of asteroids. These asteroids impacted the Earth, creating our moon, killing the dinosaurs, and inconveniencing a town named after an episode of Star Trek. I mean, possibly an episode of Star Trek. Maybe Battlestar Galactica? I don't know, just some science fiction TV show. I mean, nothing against you guys, but moving on to the rest of the story. The ancient alien parasite decides to go apeshit all over humanity once awakening itself, converting any humans into biomass, basically. Or the shit-stained vomit thing we called Sprawl earlier. And the counter-terrorist organization with international flavors decided, we're gonna research the parasite. So the US government hands them a boat and says, get the fuck out there and do it, bitch. And that's where the game starts. The irony is that throughout the lore, it gets kind of scary what they fucking do. I mean, fuck, when you start reading it, it gets worse and worse. Like, you got the spiker, literally the main variant, is shooting spines with the power of somewhere between 30-06 and 357 caliber rounds. Making you think, are they really surviving these fucking encounters? And then you got the fact that the nitrocell was an experiment using the stasis foam. I mean, think about that. It's like, it's explosives made of fucking the same material that covers you to protect you from the parasite converting you into more parasite. And you got the whole fucking gene therapy thing where they're repairing your genes every encounter. Like, if you just even get like fucking paper cut out there, you gotta fucking go through gene replacement therapy. Or else you turn in one of those fucking things. This game is fucking scarier than it lets on. Existential dread aside, let's talk about the gameplay. Gameplay is like being an anime protagonist trying to go unmolested through a hentai series. If you say that's not fucking right, I beg to fucking differ with all the crotch I've seen, and the arbitrary is basically a tentacle beast from a hentai. So to kind of explain it in a slightly autistic way, here's your primary objective. The tech tree. It's in the progress tab at the main menu. That is a tech tree. Because up until a certain point, you stop getting levels. And you're at the maximum level. And all that happens is you get more codex. I mean, technically it's just more codex. I mean, it's audio logs, but it's codex entries. Your other objective is to do studies. That is also a primary objective. But you don't have to worry about what I call hidden studies, which hidden studies are hidden in the codex. And also the, what was it called? Weapon charms and weapon skins and skins portion. Also I have hidden studies, but they're all optional. When I say hidden, they're optional. Here's your next thing, which is your secondaries. Leveling up characters, because that also helps the tech tree bar. You can only go to level 10 in each character, though, before it stops aiding in the bar's progression. And then after that is your optional objectives, which is based upon which location you go to. The number one thing I will say about the optionals is do not fail them. You can skip them. You can complete them. But do not fail them. There is worse consequences, especially if it's a MIA rescue op. You will lose experience. And if you're below level 10, that experience helps you get more react gear. So like I say, do not fill them. Skip them if you think you can't do them. Or extract. And all those objectives... okay, so all those objectives are going to be like things like planting trackers to killing a protein in a gateway. Well, gateway dimension, whatever. His reality marble. Or her reality marble. Because it's the next parasite creature. If you never played Metroid Fusion, it just means that it's a copy that's upgraded to the liking of the parasite. Alright, let's finish this off with the cons and pros, because I want my fucking hope to shine through the shit of the infinite darkness that is the negatives. I don't know why I phrased it that way, because I'm not a person in the scat. I fucking find that disgusting. Oh god. I can just imagine it. Anyway. First con is, like, I feel like the story is lacking. Even though there's, like, a metric ton of fucking codex entries, it is... oh my god, it's like fucking, like, listening to the audio book of At the Mountains of Madness. And then listening to the parts where, like, the guy's just, like, listing off shit to get you to go, oh yeah, it's a limestone cavern with a pattern that spirals into a certain kind of direction. But instead it's like, oh yeah, this fucking creature does this. And he's known for terrorizing us. And he's just supposed to do something with that? I mean, for fuck's sakes, like, one of the code... like, I was joking about it, like, that, Apex throw these fireball things. If I kept it in, I fucking said they were jizz rockets. I don't remember if I did. I'm recording this, like, days later. Because, like, I have literally only so much time I can fucking dedicate to recording. And I'm at the point where I just fucking don't give a shit. Like, if you hear the things I'm trying to prevent, while recording, it's whatever. But, like, the story is lacking, like I'm saying. Not to mention there's, like, the only cutscenes, like, one of them is literally a fucking tutorial to tell you what will happen if you go to 0, and after experiencing that go to 0, sure, it's 100% accurate. Except, enemies will spawn literally out of fucking thin air. And also will spawn on the other side of the fucking fenced walled areas. And just drop in. Making the entire point of what they were talking about doing, you know, the whole contain the area, go in, research, and then mop it up. Being 100% pointless, seemingly. Not to mention operators don't seem to have an impact on the story, really. I mean, sure, you might have, like, little quips here and there in the codex entries, but it's, like, mostly going to be people like IQ fucking saying anything. And I really wish I was joking about that. Next negative is just... I wish all the guns were used by everyone. It's all locked off by, like, class and country of origin. Even though, like, the M249 should be with Americans as well as the Australians. Not to mention, I want everyone to be able to... like, if they've ever added an M60 to a character, I would want everyone to be able to wield the M60. That is an entirely American gun, but I want everyone to be able to wield it. Hell, I want everyone to be able to wield Makarov. That only 2 characters get. Next thing is, like, the weird wonky RNG. It's kind of like roguelike, except for that your boss enemies can be quite literally in front of you when you just barely spawn into the mission. Along with, like, the Blinding Spore having, like, the shittiest hitbox ever. Like, a fucking Router's back of the neck has a shitty hitbox. Well, of how big the hitbox is. Because there's like a mutation that like says immortal, and you have to like shoot it in the back of the head to get it to stop reviving. But at least it's doable from like first try. But a blinding spore, their bullets will just go through it in the first shot most of the time, which is annoying on your first playthrough. Next thing I have a problem with is like the fucking microtransactions and the fact that 2 pieces of react gear are literally behind a paywall. And if you go like, oh, but Maelstrom, yeah, Maelstrom, you have to get up to 20k in points before you can get the 120 microtransaction money, which that's equivalent to like a fucking dollar in American money. Like, sure, it's only like 20 primo bucks, but like, but it's the fact that it's behind a microtransaction instead of earning like every other fucking piece of equipment that you get for React. Okay, now let's start with the positives. I actually like the themes of the game, and if I didn't say it before, I think it'd be kind of cool if we can actually explore the whole fucking city of New York after seeing how it looks from the police station, or Nome, Alaska, because that's the only fucking location named in Alaska that actually has a city title to it. But I actually like the themes. But if the wiki is fucking correct, like, fuck the themes. This is that beyond time and space bullshit, and it's an alien parasite that's defeated with bullets. 2 is the gameplay is fine outside of the wonkiness. No joke, it's actually pretty fine. I mean, where you're aiming is where you're going to hit, and your little laser that you get at the end of the tech tree part of the progression. Not to mention, it's fucking a great thing, because you can literally just, because of how, like, add on to the wonkiness, when you shoot Sprawl, it just, depending on, like, your angle, it'll get rid of more, which also works with the fucking laser, which makes that laser better than it is. Not to mention the laser actually also helps you out with doing damage against your keys. So it's like if you're dealing with an Apex, you turn on the laser and you're doing extra damage even if you're not shooting. Like if you run out of ammo, you can just turn on the laser and just pss, 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 pss. And the final thing is that this is a better terrorist hunt than Rainbow Six Vegas 2. I am not joking. That thing fucking surprised me. I thought Vegas 2 was the better terrorist hunt until I fucking played it. Because for some reason in my mind, I remember just being able to explore the area and kill the terrorists, blah, 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 blah. No. This is better. Not to mention, this thing has objectives, which make the terrorist hunt seem to make sense. This entire thing is basically just a game mode from a previous fucking game, but with a mod. And that is like the best part about this whole fucking thing, is it feels like it's a fucking mod. It's like, oh hey, somebody modded this in, and like, now we're just gonna make it official. Just update and put it in. Done. Because the final thing that I actually like about this, which I'll put in the conclusion, if you got Game Pass, try it. It's not bad. The only thing you're gonna lose is time. If you got friends who have Game Pass, just tell them the gameplay is not bad from what someone was saying. Stories, but gameplay is solid. Except for the blinding spores. And if they go like, what did you mean? Just tell them, oh, I mean, except for the fact that it takes a while to grind, which isn't that hard because you can just up the difficulty to get more experience. But you can only get the difficulty unlocked when you get to a certain area. Just never mention the blinding spores. The wonkiness of their hitbox unless it's on you. But like I'm saying, like it's not bad of a game. There's worse. Far Cry New Dawn is way worse than this. And Far Cry New Dawn is DLC given its own game. So, just send off. Thanks for listening, and good night. And if you're my brother from another mother, thanks for the fucking mic. Fucking saved this review on an accident. Because I listened back to some of my audio and it bit crushed a lot. When I was just using my headphone. Like when I started the review, I just used that. But again, seriously, thank you.